be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman, same promo code, 10% off at checkout. Both of these are fantastic deals, and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? 36 back with some more Magic the Gathering arenas and news. The news is that I have started a second channel. The reason I started a second channel is after talking with some, frankly, of the most subscribed YouTubers. I think the only one that I really haven't talked to at all, my brain is broken, all right, is the professor from Tolarian Community College. But a lot of the Magic players I have in some way had passing contact with. But I've talked to a few of them about this, and some of the general gist that I got is that if you have such a niche as I do, and your community isn't already quite large, you should separate your main stuff from your additional stuff. So I took that to heart. I thought about it a lot, and I have decided to create a new channel. It's called Six and Stuff. This essentially is any non-Magic the Gathering stuff is going to be there. Links for that are going to be in the description. They're going to be at the top of the description for this video, but for the remainder of this stuff, it's going to have its own little link in the description moving forward. Right now, I have no videos on there, but I hope that on Monday, I will have Season 2, Episode 1 of Stone Shard. So that you're going to see different card games there. You're going to see Stone Shard. Once Silk Song comes out, Hollow Knight Silk Song, stuff will be there as well. Even if I stream Silk Song, the VODs will be up on there. So if you like me and you want to see more of me, it really would mean a lot if you went over and subbed to that channel. And then the first person who comments on the first video will be the truly first person on there. So that's real cool. But yes, it took me a long time to really consider it and whatnot. Now, technically, I have a little post-it note here that has my upload schedule, and technically, publish on Sunday is standard. I don't really have any standard decks. I'm not even really kidding. I made videos on all of these. I don't really feel like making a video on any other standard deck. I looked at MTG Goldfish to look at kind of the metagame. I looked at some of the Aether Hub videos, or the Aether Hub decks in Standard Best of 1. I wasn't feeling it. So we're playing a good old-fashioned Historic, because it's just so much more fun for me. Specifically, we're playing Elves. Now, we're not just playing any old Elves, we're playing Big Elves. The reason I call this Big Elves is because the focus isn't on ramping out into, a Craterhoof Behemoth or whatever. The point of this deck is to have just generally some chunky elves, right? And we have like all of the elf lords. We got a little bit of chunk, not a ton, but a little bit of chunk here, and just nice ways of making our elves even chunkier. So we start off with 3 Allosaurus Shepherd. This is a fantastic 1/1 that makes it so that our green spells can't be countered. What's really awesome is that this is all of our spells. For what it's worth, the majority of our cards are creatures, but it does mean that the Great Henge also can't be countered, which is always nice. When you have a ton of mana, you can just pay 6 and make it so all of your elves' base power and toughness is 5. And what's notable here is that they become dinosaurs in addition to their other types, so you don't lose out on any buffs that you may have accrued from your Lord effects. So, I mean, we have things like Elvish Clangcaller, other elves get +1/+1. When we turn into dinosaurs, we're still elves, so we do still get that boon. Additionally, it's base power and toughness, so any counters that we accrue via things like Pelt Collector or the Great Henge or Marwyn innately, they still are going to be there, which is really nice. 3 Llanowar Elves. As I said, this isn't really meant to be a ramp strategy. However, going turn 1 Llanowar Elf into turn 2 any of these, frankly, is still a very, very strong play. And if you can get a 5-power creature that can't be chump blocked on turn 2, that's real damn strong. If we don't have either of those, we do have 4 Pelt Collectors. Pelt Collector, you all should know him by now. He sees a ton of play in the Gruul ramp strategy, or the Gruul aggro strategies. And in a deck like this, we definitely we plan on making them big and swole. Thorn Lieutenant, I really just like this card. It probably could be something else, but I really wanted it to be this. It triggers Pelt Collector, always nice. It's a 2-mana 2/3, really nice. If it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, we get to make another elf, which is fantastic if you're pressing your control opponent and they have to remove it or else like they're gonna die. It just means that we get extra stuff. And if we don't have Allosaurus Shepherd or Elvis Clangcaller or any of the other things that we can use excess mana on, we can just pump it into Thorn Lieutenant at instant speed to make her even bigger. For Ren Run's Vanquisher, goodness. It's a 2-mana 3/3. Like, still, like, being able to just Pelt Collector into Ren Runs, into, you know, friggin' Steel Leaf Champion, that's a relatively strong curve, right? Our creature's just going to be beefy. She does technically have an additional cost of needing to reveal an elf card. It's not really going to be an issue with the sheer number of elves in this deck. And she has Death Touch, which is fine. It's not technically the best, but it does mean that she can trade with a Questing Beast because of the fact that she has power high enough to block Questing Beast, and she has Death Touch, so get effed. For Elvis Clangcallers, it's an Elf Lord that searches for more Elf Lords. Moving on. Imperious Perfect. It's an Elf Lord that makes elves. It's strong. Moving on. We have 2 Marwins. The reason we have 2 Marwins is 1, it's a legendary. Excuse me. And 2, we're not necessarily focusing on ramping big. So Marwyn is kind of in here more for the fact that she grows herself. But the fact is, we can still do dumb turns with her, where we can, you know, Llanowar Elves into Marwyn into 2 1-drops or something, and then cast Elvish Archdruid or something. Speaking of, it's another Lord. Also, it generates a lot of mana. But it's another Lord. That's what really matters. Steel Leaf Champion. It's a 3-mana 5/4. I don't need to say anything else. 2, the Great Henges, just because we plan on having decent power here to start off with. You know, technically we can play this on, what, turn 3? Turn 1, Llanowar Elf. Turn 2, Steel Leaf. Yeah, and then Great Henge on turn 3. Because it'll be reduced by 5. It's down to 2, green, which would be 4, which is how much mana we should theoretically have on that amazing curve on turn 3. It adds mana for us, so we could even play an Elvish Clangcaller directly after that, which is nuts. So we get to gain life from it. We get to draw cards. It makes our creatures bigger. It's just a relatively strong card. And then a single Ghalta, because sometimes you just like throwing big dinosaurs at people. It's a big dinosaur. We have Castle Garenbrig and 17 Forest. We're also using the Weeb Nissa sleeves. Play. We'll play in Cash for right now. An unranked historic, but there's a bunch of other ways you can play elves, which is really cool. I think the next way I'll play it, which is going to be in a while, is going to be the elf ball style, where you ramp into things like Critterhoof. But for right now, I just wanted to play big elves. I have a smoothie. I just had fish and potatoes. I keep forgetting how much my fish shrinks. Right now I'm eating cod. It was tilapia before, it's cod right now. No, it's haddock? No. Pollock? It's a type of whitefish. After I go through all of this whitefish, I'm going to get a different whitefish. And why do I get whitefish? I just prefer it, generally speaking. We don't have a 1-drop in this hand, but we do have Clangcaller Perfect. So I will keep it. Song of Frasian sleeves, if this is a T-bird. Okay. I probably will Thorn Lieutenant on 2 instead of Clangcaller. Mindstone. This is mana destruction, I think. Or this is land destruction. I'm certain this is some sort of nonsense. Well, if they kill my Thorn Lieutenant, I will get.
The fabric of the multiverse obeys me.
Okay. I'm going to do this because next turn I might, if I don't draw land, I will be able to, at the very least, play Clangcaller and activate Perfect. Bloodsun? That's fine. Stopped my Garenbrig a little, but I'm not too worried about it.
Lies beyond vision.
I'm not going to hold up the Perfect. I think instead I'm going to play Llanowar Elves. My board might get wiped, but I think that is a risk that I have to make. If it gets wiped here, I'm yeeting. Yeah.
Perfection is a journey.
Hard to beat that.
A destiny.
That was what, turn 3 Hugin? Yeah, hard to beat that. Honestly, I'm just gonna hop into ranked. There is right now no distinction between ranked and unranked. Insofar as you're gonna come across the same stuff, the same power level of decks. In unranked, you're going to come across more lower level memeier decks, but you'll still have that high level meme deck. And I'm not necessarily saying that my opponent was playing like a super strong deck. I'm just saying there's a high level meme. And I'm not playing anything nicer. Like my theoretic curve is turn 3 Ardenvale, turn 3 Henge. This hand is good. I think I'm gonna start with Pelt Collector. Do I want to do Collector into Vanquisher or Collector into Lieutenant? I think I want to do into Lieutenant because then I can use my Vanquisher and still buff my Collector. Whereas if I do it the other way, I couldn't. So here, I'm actually going to do this. So I'm going to get Thought Erased here. If I can grab a land... No, okay. I would like a land. Cool. So the reason I wanted this land is so that I can play this to buff them. Then play this, feel an elf. And now, only one creature of mine dies to Cry of the Canarium. They all die to Witch's Vengeance, which I'm hoping my opponent isn't playing, but with the prevalence of elf decks, I wouldn't be surprised. So it appears that they have potentially a single target removal spell. It's my guess. Gonna go ahead and play the Clangcaller. The Clangcaller might die. That's Guy Sensei's father, for those of you who don't know. Might die. Yeah, that's fine. Oh! It would have been better to kill the Clangcaller. Clangcaller removes 5 damage. They only removed 4. They would have lived on 1. So they would have needed a board wipe regardless. But still, I had nothing to follow up with. And that is the risk in this type of elf deck. We don't have Muxus, right? We're also running fewer rampy cards. So if we get board wiped, we're gone. And that's something that you should appreciate with this deck. And know that sometimes you're just going to not be able to stay in. Oh, this is a real greed keep. But I can potentially do the dream if I draw 2 lands in a row. Okay, it's okay, that's a start. Next turn I can play Sealy Champion, which is pretty decent. Ooh, they kept the 1-lander, but they do not appear to have gotten there. I'm going with the champion. I got a big boy. We YOLO'd, and the greed saved us. They YOLO'd, and the greed tooketh away. But yes, this is a kind of an all-in deck. A lot of elf decks that I've played at least do feel a lot more like combo decks insofar as they feel very weak to responses, right, to interaction. Whereas when you look at things like goblins, they have many ways of reaccruing that value. And they also have potential reach. You know, you're playing red, you can play, even though many aren't, direct damage spells, etc., etc. With this version of elves, board wipes are really awful. With the ramp version of elves, board wipes are still pretty awful. But you do have that access to potentially big beefy things, big CMC threats. But with this deck, I can still cast other things if am in top deck mode. With the ramp, since a lot of your ramp is focused around your creatures, if you lose your creatures, you will have fewer cards that you can cast off of top decking. So there are definite trade-offs, and I'm not going to pretend to be even an elf journeyman player. Apprentice at best. I don't remember the Oblivion categorizations. I'm actually going to look it up because I'm curious about it. Oblivion. Draw my ass. Skill levels. Oh yeah. Novice, apprentice, journeyman, expert, master. Yeah, so I'm not even going to pretend that I'm an apprentice elf player. Novice at best. But yeah, if tribal is something that you like, but you're looking for something that has choices, I don't think this is the right deck. It feels very limited. Obviously, the Goblin deck has linear lines. Any deck can have linear lines. But it feels... I don't know. As I said, I think this just feels more... Probably all from Lieutenant. It feels more dangerous to lose something in this than it does for Goblins. Same thing with zombies. Zombies, I feel like you have a lot of resiliency there, which is built into the whole zombies ethos and stuff. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Take your 3 lumps. I'm just going to play the Throne Lieutenant here. Does suck that we didn't draw another land, but frankly, makes sense. I assume we're going to see Vanquisher die a horribly painful death. My fruit smoothie is too thick. No way you target my Thorn Lieutenant, right? Sure. I mean, seeing the bottom is nice. There's no way you double block either. Yeah. Don't know what that was about. I'll play my sad Pelt Collector. Hope that I can get a third land. It'll be Steelleaf Champion. I assume that's something that my opponent isn't going to have the easiest time dealing with. I suspect that we're going to see a Lightning Strike here at end of turn. Or an equivalent, obviously. It's too thick, Captain! I was wrong. Oh! This might be a Phoenix Pyromancer deck, then. One thing I really like in the historic metagame right now is that there are a ton of ways to build blue-red spells. A ton. You could have attacked with one of your dorks. I wouldn't have blocked with my Pelt Collector. Yeah, Champion seems like a super strong option. Oh yeah, it's Phoenix's. Champion seems like a super strong option because it can't be chumped by this garbage. It can be blocked by one of the Phoenixes. But it wouldn't die necessarily, so... It could die to, like, being shocked and stuff. They're gonna kill that, sure. Do I still all in? Yep. I sure do. They have to trade all 4 of those for my Vanquisher, so I'll take those odds. I'm gonna kill my Thorn Lieutenant. Nope, they're just gonna chump. I guess that makes more sense. I'd like another land. That'd be fantastic. Oh, it's another Young Peasy. We are doomed. Yeah, this is a level interaction that I can't deal with. Oh, he just plays 2. I need to write a note to myself. Mardu Pyromancer. Should be Mardu. I don't want the normal blue nonsense. Because that's no fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm screwed. I've, like, super lost this game. Now that they have two, they probably are able to justify killing one of them. Oh, they're gonna kill my Clan Caller and then block. Not having a 1-drop on turn 1 and not drawing a land is what did it for me. Is what kind of lost it. If I had either or, I think I'd be in a much better position. I mean, obviously, like, it literally would have been a better position. I feel like I keep drawing the second Marwyn, though. I'm only running 2. We're not in a terrible position, per se. We're just not in a good one. Now I would say that we're in a terrible position. Yeah. If we were able to get a Steel Leaf Champion down significantly earlier, we'd be kind of fine. But I'm a bit spooked. Yeah, brush my beard. I forgot. See, you can't promote a product and then forget to use it on a day. My sweet grizzly gentleman peppermint beard oil is fantastic, but I forgot to freaking use it today, so my beard doesn't feel silky smooth. It feels coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. Ooh, how about no? I don't like this. Stop it. You know, you could not and say that you... Okay. I mean, yeah, we're going to concede. We can't get past this value. And we just couldn't get another land. It's fine. Good choice. Good avatar. Good name. Alright. We got turn 1, turn 2. Potential turn 3s, as long as we draw a third land. Going second, not the best. Keep it on top, not the best. Okay, so we do have a turn 3, which is nice. Depending on what our opponent is playing, will determine which of these 3 jocks we're playing. Bant. Bant ramp. Good to know. I don't actually know if that helps me. I assume this is an Ugin deck, for what it's worth. I think I'm just going to play Archdruid on turn 3. It'll buff my board, but it'll also allow me to double cast the following turn, which if my opponent doesn't do anything, I think kills them. I'm not going to do the math, because math is for blockers. But I think it kills them, potentially, possibly. Uro the Suck Dad. Why do I call it that? Just look at its face up here when that happens. Oh, it's a field deck. Oh, it's Bant Field. Cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. They're still 3 lands away from this. Shadow. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to see. Yeah, bog me, bro. I got there in time. I'm just gonna play the Steel Leaf Champion and hope it survives. What's nice is that the champion does move through the field tokens. 2, 4, 6. What is it? Nissa, Teferi, Ugin, Migration Path. That's technically fine because of the fact that I don't have to deal with nonsense. If I draw a land, I can Castle Garenbring and double buff. Sure. They can't block, which is nice. Oh, it's not Bant Rampant. Right. I'm dumb. That's fine, because you can't block. This and this. Hope they don't have another Shadow of the Sky and win. Golos? Golos can block. Unfortunately. Freaking lots of zombies. I'm so glad Field of the Dead's in this format. It's really a fair card to play against. They have one card in hand in a Field of the Dead deck. I don't think blocking is bad. I think they can play that next turn. Should be able to play all of these. But if they have another board wipe, I am fucked. These each make 3/3s, so tapping it down is essentially fine. Okay. Do I get board wipes? I mean, if nothing else, they can play Uro from the grave. Okay. Don't like that. Okay, they're cycling. So they're on a random draw. Play Uro. Yep, they're playing Uro. Oh, they had to have a card in the graveyard. Damn. So if they didn't have a cycling card, they wouldn't have been able to Uro. So they get to draw again. They're still rocking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. 5 mana. No white. Rejuvenator, sure. Luckily, I'm not too terribly worried about I'm not too terrible about, like, losing my board from just the zombies, or dying from just the zombies. I can block 4 of them. I take 4. Ooh, yikes. Maybe I should be. So it is a situation like this, where it would be nice to have some nonsense, but... So I can attack with Steel Leaf. They don't have to block with Uro. I can attack with Thorn Leaf, or Thorn Lieutenant. But I still wouldn't kill them. He doesn't give trample, right? No. I should have looked at this, not the Thorn Leaf. Block. Then I can block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can block 7 of them. There'll be 7 that are attacking me, which would leave me alive if I only attack with Steel Leaf. I think that's correct. Yeah. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think I have to do this. They block with Uro. For what it's worth, I don't actually think they should have blocked with Uro. But maybe technically they like had to, because they didn't know if I was gonna pump or not. So I believe I'm alive at 1. And the top 22 cards. they can just pass the turn again. Yep, they do not have to attack me this turn. Although, they might as well, because they got... Jesus. I do not know how this is justified. Like, I've heard some of the arguments being that it takes so long to get to this point, but it doesn't, right? Like, with the ramp tools that we have in Historic, it takes, what, turn 4 or 5? And then, like, you just have an unbeatable force. I will survive this at 1, I believe. Because I'll take 15. I think they might as well attack. Interesting. I mean, leaving the Rejuvenator back doesn't change all that much, I guess. Because they could always just not block one of my my random 3/3s, and that would have been fine. Make sure everyone's blocking a separate one. Yeah. How nice. I might as well. I'm going to die next turn. Might as well hope that my opponent messes up. But honestly, all they have to do is just chump block everything. Yup. A double block to chain reaction, kill the rest of my stuff. Yep. They could have technically changed things around, but they didn't. Well, we're at Platinum 3. Oh well. Now, technically, I could have played this, but I didn't suspect anyone would necessarily care about watching this video, so I'm just gonna do that on my own time. Anyway, that was Big Elves. Obviously not as successful as Goblins because they have Muxus and went through Field of the Dead. Anyway, as I said at the beginning of this video, it would mean a lot if you went to my second channel if you enjoy not just my Magic stuff. Once again, thanks to the lovely patrons, especially Fogwin for the big ups. If you would like to join them supporting the show, you'll find links to that down in the description. Other ways to help the channel, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really does help, and if nothing else, it makes me feel good, which is nice. Anyway, until next time, all be one.